Welcome back, and we continue with our discussion, innovation and technology for economic productivity. We want to produce, we don't want to be barren as a country. And Prof said that we just bring it in a layman's language.
Yes.
Productivity means that you want to produce. So for those who are either married, you produce children, and those who are in economics, you must make sure that you were able to multiply, the multiplier effect, so that you come from, if you had the little capital, that in economics there is no little capital. Anything you can turn it around and it is able to produce.
It gives you what
yes, yes, that's important. Yeah, we want to continue with where you had stopped, Prof. And I know that you deliver to us the best of the best, especially looking at Ugandan economy to embrace how it can embrace innovation and technology. During the break session, we were looking at that some of us Ugandans, we've not taken a path of innovation because we have not exhaustively realized that there is a problem somewhere, and to create another breed of persons who will say, no, let's come out of this, we need to do A, B, C, and we must come out of this situation. You're in a room, it is closed, it's like there's nowhere to pass, and fire is passing everywhere. You'll not let die. You must make a way out.
You have to get out.
You'll come.
Thank you very much, Dr. Joseph.
Yes.
So, someone said that necessity is always the mother of invention. That if you are pressed with a problem, certainly you start looking for a solution. And if you break through, if you get a breakthrough, then that solution can be monetized. And then you start earning from it.
Prof, let's take this direction. Yes. Now, the problem at hand, we are having the second digit of inflation. Inflation is a challenge, and it is known globally that we have an economic crisis which we are trying to manage. And also, we are aware that unemployment continues to knock on different doors of some houses. There we go.
Now, let me tell you one thing. And I don't know why we are suffering from this rampant unemployment. Now, let me give you an example. There is something we call the digital economy. All right? That's what we live in today. You can't run away from it. The digital economy, us as a country, we continue to look inwards for jobs, for our people's jobs, inwards. Like you have to find people running around looking for jobs. Other countries who have noticed that we are in the digital economy, in a freelance era of doing work, are looking outwards. Now, outwards does not necessarily mean that you start going to Saudi Arabia. No, it's you develop the skills that are going to do the jobs while the nationals are seated in their own country, but they are being hired by every person who needs work to be done around the world. There are platforms in this world, and trust me, they are going to be. They may be new to you. They may be new to some of the viewers. There are platforms like Fiverr.com. Fiverr. There are platforms like Kids Check. There are platforms.
You go deeper, sir.
Even
what you're saying is new.
Yes, you see.
Information to our viewers is what we need to give.
I am coming to that. There are platforms like Upwork. There are platforms like Freelancer. I can go on and on and on. These platforms up to 100. Now, do you know what these platforms do? Do you know how to produce a show? Yes. Just come to this platform, produce someone's show who is situated in Argentina, and they will pay you per hour. You don't need to go there. Produce it here. You're seated in your comfort of your home, do it here. Do you know how to design a flyer? Yes. Bring your service and produce this, develop this flyer, and just send it, quality assured here, and send it out. Like everything. I am intrigued. I have a daughter who loves singing. Now, do you know? She wants to sing this song, so I have to go to Fiverr and purchase a song, a written song by someone who studied music somewhere in New Zealand, for example, and will write for us a song. But we have Ugandans who went to some of our institutions here in Uganda and studied music, MDD and everything, and they're now looking for a job, but they don't know anything about freelancer, Fiverr, Chegg, Upwork. No one knows anything about that because no one told them anything about that. And they are poor because of lack of what? Information. For us, we are, because of what we know, is go into farming, do coffee, do cotton, do the banana. It's okay, they are very good, but that's our traditional cash crops that we know, right? But where we are, the digital economy requires us to understand that in this Internet of Things era we are in this fourth industrial revolution, in this 21st century economy we are in, you can do work without leaving your home. Okay. Therefore, now it comes back to how we educate our children. Now, if you're going through a degree program, it doesn't matter which degree you do, or you're pursuing social sciences, music, dance, drama, whatever you want. If that degree program does not embed you, or it doesn't embed technology for you, you are finished. Listen to me, you are finished, because in this digital era, everything has to have a connotation or is attached to technology. So you cannot do away with technology. Today people are buying virtual land.
May I know whether all courses that are being taught at Victoria University, now, they have course unit of digital, computer?
I am one person who never talk things that I don't think are applicable and doable.
Okay.
So now for us, every program you're going to pursue in our university, Victoria University, you should be ready to make sure that everything can be done and is being done on a computer, including writing your exam, including your coursework right now. This business of, including even our teachers now, we do not need a teacher who is going to ask me for papers to mark. Find them on a platform and mark people's scripts. Now look, let me give you an example, a very, very simple example. There are institutions in this country, especially public universities, that are huge. They have big numbers in terms of students, all right? During exams, they have like how many sessions of exams? Maybe a student may use 24 scripts, answer sheets, while writing the exam, the physical answer sheet. But do you know how much money they spend to have those materials? A big university may be spending 5 billion a year. Okay?
5 billion.
I mean a semester. Now, in a year they may be spending 10 billions, a big university. A sizable university, we're talking about 3 billions or 6 in a year. Now, cumulatively, look at all, say, universities. If you put together all that money, don't you think we're talking about 1 trillion somehow? If we went digital, and teachers are marking digitally, students are doing exams digitally, how many teachers would we be, if government took that money and invested it in teachers, for example, how many teachers would be really paying, giving them a very good salary? If we go digital, innovation, a problem, find a solution. How many people will you be employing in that regard? Massive employment. So we just have to think differently and do things differently. That's how we are going to solve this.
Thank you. Prof, before I leave you and to go back to Dr. Kimise, you said it very well, and we are not coming from heaven. We know what our society continues to face. And you stated it, you're referring to USA, United States of America, in 1850s, how it was. And incidentally, Uganda has made a quite better step, because I was skeptical on your statistics.
You thought it was Uganda?
Whether Uganda, and I was already questioning it. But yet we are not yet doing well.
Yeah.
Because, number one, our policy to support innovation and the technology we are talking about is not yet sufficient. There are some fees and basically the tax put on how you access internet. And at the same time, when we want to solve unemployment, but there is that hindrance.
No, we are in a state.
And that's a problem identified.
We are in a state, for lack of better words, let me put it this way. You love so much, someone loves so much children, right? And then, all of a sudden, when you have these kids, you choke them to death, right? So that's the situation we are in right now. You know why? Like, you talked about internet. Today I was having a conversation with some of the internet providers, right? And when you look at what they charge as a tax, 42%, 40 or 48% taxes, and you're charging that from an education institution. And you want us, because us as education institutions like Victoria University and others, the young people we educate are not Muganga's children only, and not Dr. Kimwise's children. These are young men and women of this country that must be productive for this country, for their families, for themselves, and we get the prosperity we are looking for.
So you propose a tax-free internet?
We really need not just internet, all education materials.
Materials, yes.
Because that's how we have, like the other day we were procuring digital smartboards for our classrooms, all our classrooms. And a digital smartboard, a good one, if you go to Hisense, for example, because it's the leading provider of the best digital smartboards in the country. So if you go to them, size 11, and size 65 goes for 13 million. But over that, 18% is what? Tax. Something is excise what? Duty. And if you go for 86-inch, which is desirable because we have sometimes bigger classrooms, it is 22 millions. A significant chunk of that is tax, excise duty, VAT, name it. But we are wondering, like, if you can allow us to at least to purchase this equipment without tax, we are able to bring in more, and the ratio of technology to a student becomes now more productive, and accessibility now becomes real. Honestly, we are shooting ourselves in the feet, and we need to change that as government to really empower our own human capital. You talked about human capital.
Yes, please.
Such that we create masses that are productive for themselves and are going to give back to this country.
Policymakers outside there, you are following us. Why are you shooting yourselves? You have children, you are the same persons who are advocating for the welfare of the citizens. And our talk show is not just a mere debate, it's not measure. We are looking at how we can shape the destiny of this country. And we appeal to you that you take it up, and possibly some of the members of parliament who are coming from the session, one can generate a resolution that can turn everything around. Thank you, Prof. We'll be coming back to you, giving us your last word, since I'm aware that you'll have also another service to deliver somewhere. Yes. Let's have you, Dr. Kimwise alone. And our hope is in you, sir, because you are the expert of IT. Yet the realization of what IT should be in a practical sense in this country and in a developing world seems to be minimal. How can we realize the dream?
Yeah, always my discussion, all my lessons will be focusing on the local setting. The confidant here has discussed it, of course, at that the other high level and all that. But I think you just hinted on it. Innovation to come in, and even when you look at the developed world, I think the agenda drives. I don't know, I need to ask you, you are in the area of policy making. We have vision 2030?
2040.
Yeah,
2040.
And agenda 2030.
So, why is that we are talking about? He has talked about the digital. We have the Minister of ICT and all that. And also, Uganda as a country, if we are to talk about innovation, what is our niche? Because we must have a niche if we are talking about economic development. Now we have entered into East African community, but there's what we call competitive advantage, or distinct capability that you can do beyond Uganda, doing beyond Sudan, Uganda doing beyond Tanzania. My brother here has talked about that innovation starts with a problem. Now the question is, what is the problem, or what is our problem as Uganda? Before even, because yes, I may get the individual, but the state is very, 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 very important. If it was not state, the state I wouldn't be sitting here. What am I talking about? Security is one thing. If the state was not here, sincerely, would be not enjoying this kind of what. And now, where does it come from? Policy. I think you know very well the president many times. I think the members of parliament have tried to, please, we need to audit you. We have given a lot of money to what? To security and all that. Yeah, it is true. The government has given, but still we need to support. The down person has been talking about that there are a lot of taxes and all that, but how much you dance the music if the policymakers have not come in, because taxation is not one man's thing. That is at macro level in economics, that is at macro level. We have micro level, okay? But now taxation is going beyond what? So I think the policy issue is very important. Then another point about...
So before you go on,
yes.
I'm interested how you bring on board the two concepts,
yes.
the micro level and the macro level.
Yes.
And what I said, there seems to be an interlinkage. And realizing this dream-based Uganda economy embracing innovation and technology remains minimal. Because the micro, there is the affordable means of production.
Exactly.
The affordable. I want to bring it down. Prof, gave us a formula. The affordable means of production, whether in agriculture, whether in business. Too affordable. But yet the macro, you add a comprehensive approaches.
Yes.
That requires more input.
Yes.
So how can we bridge the gap?
Yeah, the gap, I've liked the government addressing the macro level kind of sustainability to move what Professor Lawrence was saying. They have introduced the parish development model. But the parish development model, I must see it with this kind, the ingredient, the thing which should be the innovation that you are talking about. Which kind of, because I said technology provides us the techniques, the methods, the approaches. Which approaches is the parish development model using? If we are trying, because innovation does not come, you must create curiosity in people. I can't be curious sincerely when I'm going to sleep hungry, not so. Innovation, there must be resilience. I think China, they have to be the tigers, they have to be resilience. In fact, it comes to the policy. I heard in Japan, when they are making cars, where the president ordered, please, we should stop importing the tractors. Go and bring those tractors here, and we are here, the scholars, we talk about models. Because if you don't have a model, I'm very sorry, you can't survive. Even at individual level, you have a model. The model is composing all those ingredients that are making me to be unique from you. I have that conceptual framework. If I don't have it, forget. Those countries have had their thing that we must take. I think Prof said here that one time US was like at this level. But then me, I look at that level. But above all, policy is very, it's not that Uganda we don't have, but if the government, like the West, the security way, in fact, Uganda is heaven in terms of security and all, but...
I want to take you to your region, Busoga.
Yes.
You come from Busoga. We know great Kodeo.
Yes.
And what happens is, you are the chief producer of sugar cane.
Yes.
And I want to ask you whether the call for innovation and technology could be a solution to our farmers. Because our topic is basically relating with the common person.
Yes.
We were having the challenge of milk production, especially the export to Kenya.
Yes.
And one asks ourselves, that's now I'm widening the scope, whether the government attention to bring innovation and technology so that we are better off in position to compete even economically in terms of the export trade compared to what we're able to produce. I'm able to mention sugarcane. And if I was to go to West, I would have talked about banana, the transportation of bunches of banana. Should it remain at the level where it is? So would you give us the emphasis what the government should either do much more to expedite the speed?
I think I may not go even to the government, but now you are driving me in the permutation and the combinations of in fact, let me talk about, first of all, I need to dig deep in what we are calling about the innovation.
Yes, sir.
If I'm assuming that I'm to come up with the product, I said innovation, you have a product and a service. Okay? I can aim at innovating a service where I'm looking at the process that things should be done like this. But about the sugarcane, I think it's a kind of like a failed project. And you know what I may say if I map it on innovation? Innovation is a circle. Okay, and I use the life cycle development. Okay, developing an innovation. And what I'm going to talk about, if you are not able to get these ones, then I'm very sorry. We talk about what we call planning. How do you conceptualize the innovation that you are talking about? And even in terms of the employment, the what you are talking about, at the planning phase, when you are coming up with a product, there are people employed to do the planning. Okay? And then we are talking about the design. The design comes to the model I'm talking about. Which model are you using? Like they introduced the sugar cane and all that, but
so there
there
should be planning.
Planning, yes. And the planning...
and you design how you want to...
You design, and all those phases, there are people doing the work. You are talking about unemployment, but on the planning, there are people. Involvement. Yeah, there is a technology, which is what? Involved that you are talking about. Then the design. Which design do you want? Like, for example, the guy who came with a car and a motorbike. I don't know whether a motorbike came from a car or a car came from a motorbike. Because a car has got...
You better tell us.
Now look, a car has how many lights?
Yes.
A car has how many lights? A car has how many lights? 2 lights. A bicycle has 1 light. Are you getting it? So what does it mean? The design is different. If you want to use a design which produces a car which has got 2 lights, and then you want to use it on a boda, then... So what design are you using? Are you using Chinese design? Are you using... So what does it mean? Also innovation, you must have a design, your design. If you don't have it, then we have what we call development. Development involves a lot of what? Do you know why you are called a human being? I mean, do you know why we are called animals? Animals, a cow is an animal, a chimpanzee is an animal, a giraffe is an animal. Do you know why? Because the development is different. I mean, the design and the development. Now, do you know where the development is occurring? When all of us we are born, all animals will do what? For example, a cow, we do what? We grow. You get it? We grow. But now when development, you know why your mom is having breast? It's for development. Okay. A cow eats grass. For us, we eat what? So the ingredients we are using, and all those if you are talking about economic development, people employed because development, you are going to bring somebody like us for us in the computer. I have software, I can use VB, if I want to develop a website, I will talk about Joomla. If I want a database, you talk about WAMP server and so on in a different way. So development, then we have what we call implementation.
So we will go into that
so
after.
These are things that, so why the sugar cane might have been what? Failed if they took the perspective of innovation. There was a problem there. Those, if you don't follow them up, definitely there's going to be a snag. Because another thing, the education was talking about these people who came to kind of do these plans. What happened? We talk about project management.
Thank you.
Yeah,
yes. So Doc will be coming in the next session. You've given us almost a whole model.
Yes.
And I'm following very well. When you see me writing, I'm
not even finished.
I'm going to give you more 20 minutes in the next session.
Yeah.
But let's have the final wrap up and the insight which Prof want to leave with us, so that Uganda can be able to embrace innovation. When I talk about Uganda, I don't mean those who are not in leadership. Yeah. We mean both the citizens and also those are leaders. Please welcome.
And I remember,
I
remember telling you this in one of the programs we have ever had. One of the interesting programs we had is that there is no such a thing called government. Government is us.
Yeah,
it's all of us. All right. So as we blame them, we should first look at ourselves.
We are part of them. It's okay.
All right. Yes.
But
anyway, what I wanted to tell us and everyone watching is that. Let's be honest. Let's face the truth, fellow Ugandans and East Africans, that traditional education, all right? The education that sustained our grandparents and fathers, it is no longer going to help us in this era, in this digital economy. Can I give you evidence? I will give you evidence. Today there are certain things you say, and if you resurrected someone who died in 1990, they will still, if there is no Google, they will try to ask you, what do you mean? Now let me give you an example. Today people say things like 5G, right? They talk about blockchain. They talk about NFT. They talk about electric cars. They talk about metaverse, virtual reality, digital economy, programming, social media, cryptocurrency, driverless, like cars that drive themselves, like autopiloted, whatever cars, VPN. That language never existed in 1990 backwards, all right? But we are given Web 3.0. He understands all these things. Now, these are common things in our language today, right? Coding, now coding is a type of language, like now we talk about English, Luganda, Runyankore. Coding is a language. So now that those things are there, and the country has evolved, the world has evolved into a digital economy, and we are still implementing the same education system, we are doing a disservice to our own important asset or resource, the people of this country. I was so pleased, so pleased. He talked about it, Dr. Kimisa here talked about it. When I heard His Excellency, the President of Kenya, honestly, he was like crying. And he was saying enough is enough. We are tired of giving public institutions money to educate a student who is just going to roast maize on the road. Right? And he said if institutions are not feeling the shame, then he doesn't understand what they are doing. And that comes after our own president, His Excellency the President. I think he was at Mark 100, and then at Uganda at 60, in Kololo. And he's really asking very valid questions. What happened to our universities and professors as professors? We are seeing problems all over the country, but we are not doing anything. But the government is pumping money into these institutions to only do nothing, right? Innovation is coming up with a solution to a real problem. Then you are a real professor, a real educator at Victoria University. We have decided, either you hate us or not, we are saying our education has to mirror real life. It has to embed technology. We have to look like the economy we are in. We have decided to nurture problem solvers. We have decided to nurture innovators. We have decided to develop people who leave universities, our university, with experience, all right? And if you want to know how we do that, I have also put it in my book.
That will be your last word. Yes.
All right? I have very well packaged. And you talked about policymakers. This should be, I know everyone in whichever faith denomination you come from, you may have a Bible, Quran, or any other holy book. But Authentic University, that book, as an educator, of whichever magnitude, wherever you come from, pick that book, look at it. And if you can't afford to purchase a copy, you will come as a policymaker, I'll give you one for free.
Give us your last insight of the very book, just in 1 minute, that is referring to the same, on how to improve on the productivity and innovation.
The book is to simplify what the content of this book is all about. That all of us, we knew that once upon a time, everyone thought that going to a university, you have met your heaven on earth. That's when you have ended poverty. That's why parents had to sell everything they have in their homestead to take you to school, such that when you come back, you are going to become their source of income and perhaps their retirement bet. That dream or promise evaporated It's no longer the case. And the book Authentic University restores that promise.
Thank you so much. I'd like you to give our dear viewers the last word, and you've already given it out, for being in position to end the kind of the mindset of which does not resonate with the current problems, and not only counting on the previous challenges, but being in position to provide the solution. Dear viewers, stay tuned. We are still together in the next hour.